The crisis in Ukraine is becoming more explosive every second. As countries brace for war, what does that mean to our economy? The Wall Street Journal reports oil prices approach $100 a barrel on threat of Russia-Ukraine war. Oil, natural gas, and agricultural prices rose as escalating tensions over Ukraine threatened to disrupt flows of natural resources from Eastern Europe to world markets. This rise in oil prices was based only on the threat of war. Unfortunately, as this headline points out, the situation is likely to get worse. Russia declares war, launches attack in Ukraine, explosions reported. It might seem to many sitting at home here in the United States that a conflict in Ukraine poses no threat to us. This is true in the sense of a military conflict never hitting our borders, but the world supply chain is all connected. We've already seen what a health crisis has done to the supply chain and to inflation. This situation could lead to further disruption in the world economy. So for anyone still unclear of why this matters to Americans, this article from Yahoo spells it out. Why Americans should care about the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Russia is the world's third largest producer of oil and the largest supplier of natural gas to Europe, commodities whose prices have been on the rise in recent months. Even though the U.S. relies on Russia for only about 3% of its oil demand, American consumers will likely be affected, since any reduction to the overall supply will cause the market value to climb worldwide. Russians are major producers of a lot of raw materials in an environment where we are already facing a 40-year high inflation, where there are already a lot of supply chain challenges. This will actually increase costs on Americans. It will reduce consumer sentiment and confidence. Oil and inflation are linked. As energy prices rise, each stage of the supply chain usually ends up costing more, often leading to an inflationary spiral. This is reminding me more and more of the 70s, an energy crisis, surging inflation, low consumer sentiment, and the Fed attempting to control everything by raising interest rates. When we compare the 70s to today, we have to remember that historically, every time the Fed raises rates to attack inflation, we go into a recession. In summary, economic volatility and rising oil prices seem to go hand in hand with inflation, global tensions, and uncertainty. However, the outlook for gold appears extremely positive, which is why we continue to hold physical gold that can offer an outstanding leverage to rising oil prices. If you'd like to learn more, request our guide at AugustaPreciousMetals.com.
Hey guys, Joe Montana here with my man Devlin Steele. He and his team at Augusta Precious Metals are constantly putting out new information to keep you ahead of the game. Click subscribe now and hit the notification bell to stay up to date. You'll be glad you did.